Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome back to my channel. This is video 3 in the books. I don't know, trilogy. I found out that I was able to list a single video in more than one playlist category. So you will find these videos, well, the best way is to click the notification bell, and then you're notified whenever anything new is uploaded. If you don't do that, you can find it in the thrifting video playlist, because that's where all these books came from. A recent junket that I had that included a couple of antique malls and regular thrift stores and sheer good luck, I guess, as well as in the series What's in My Bookcase. Now, I was away for a little while. We were doing a family thing, and I really hope that I have not shown you this before. There are a few titles here that I got before we left. So anyway, sometimes one's mind kind of, starts turning to mush. So anyway, if you have seen this before, well, lucky you. You get to see a repeat. Oh, it needs some serious wiping. Anyway, it's the Madame Benoit, the new complete Encyclopedia of Cooking Deluxe Edition. And it is a honkin' big book. Did I put my ruler away? I've been oh, there it is. I've been taping these videos back to back to back to back. Oh, I almost have it. Looky there, that spine is 3 inches. Cover is just over 11. Width is about 8.5. Okay, so this is a big book. And it is from 1979. Now, black and white photos. Matte paper. Lots of photography. Kind of a nice clean font. Big page numbers. Like there's something to be, like this is kind of, this book kind of makes a statement, I think. And certainly there are, if a person wanted just to cherry pick some, titles or some words, then they would show up. I don't know, maybe in the front part there's more sort of some how-to type stuff. The typical conversion tables, and here's a bit of I put the camera up higher than normal because some of these books are bigger, so hopefully you'll be able to see most of the page. Cutting charts. Hey, did you know that I have a digital kit? It doesn't have that many pages in it, but it has cutting charts for veal, pork, beef, and lamb. And in far more detail than that. I did a 100-day project using some of that kit, and I just loved fussy cutting all the little enamel saucepans and so on, because they're so cute. Oh, okay, here. Look, knives. So that would be an interesting page. Oh, calorie counts. Well, we want to rip those pages out, don't we? I don't know what you can see here. Like some of the minerals and so on that are in food. Vitamins. How to make tea for 50 people. Cake pan sizes. Measurements. Equivalents. Yeah, so really, when they say encyclopedia, I think they weren't really exaggerating. So that's one. This is, when my voice goes funny, that means I'm craning my neck to see the top of my, to see my camera. Okay, copyright 1989. Kind of interesting end papers. Nice index. Some, I guess it's a bit of a glossary of terminology. Chord chart using the songbook. And then, of course, these different, you know what? I might have shown you this before. I think I might have talked about the borders, the music, the illustrations. So I will go like this and call it done. Okay, this is definitely new. This is one of those day books where, you know, you can keep track of people's, well, I guess in this case, birthdays. And it's basically gives you space every day of the year. Published 1995 to record people's birthdays as a reminder to send them a card. So nice big font for the month, what the birthstone is, a little quote, and a little quaint little illustration. Items to fussy cut, something about horoscope, a full pager. And that's how the whole book is laid out. Now, on a page like this, lucky you, lucky me, no, nothing to back, nothing to cover, just perfect. Oh, here too, maybe that's the way they handle every chapter or every month ending. Maybe that's it. So that's nice. That's a bonus. Anyway, I'm sure you probably own several of these or have seen them. I think the possibility, they're very versatile. And, you know, for the pages, say I wanted to fussy cut these rose hips and that leaf. Well, maybe, okay, let's assume that I didn't want that. I would have September, I'd have all those big numbers, I'd have some lines, or of course, the old fold it in half, turn it into a signature, fold it this way so that the actual image, if you'd made it your signature centerfold, would show you, you'd see the entire image. Just for the heck of it, let me tell you the size. 9 by, see, I'm so tight here I can hardly lay the ruler flat, by almost 7. Okay, this one I think is really, that was my thing of Tic Tacs. Do you suppose that's enough? Anyway, I thought this was quite a good find. French clocks and bronzes, and these, it seems like this was a reproduction of an 1887-1888 catalog. So a price list, a picture, and some specifications. Okay, this one they say is 20 inches tall. Oh, looks like there was a sweeping reduction of French clocks, and there was a 5% discount for cash. So you can see that there are possibilities here. You know, like I think some of this is probably too ornate for many people, but hey, that's what it was back in the 1800s. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now this one, of course, are we not all drawn to these sorts of covers? I mean, you know, maybe we prefer that they not detach, but certainly the attraction is there with, you know, this sort of fancy spine, the lovely colors here, what would have been, you know, leather. Anyway, you can see there's water damage and foxing, but it's also 1866. I'm just going to check your view here. Okay, I can still see part of this in my shot. Okay, so I'll just start at the back here. There are illustrations that look like that. The paper is lovely, of course. And because of the age of this thing, obviously anything in here can be scanned. So, as if I don't have a mountain of things to scan already, let's add some more books to it. I don't know what language that is, but she's all decked out. I don't know about you, but I love a good map, whether it's a city map or in this case, well, I guess it's a few, should we say a few blocks maybe? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I can see this being a lovely digital without any help from me. Not sure what these are. Oh, I think it's floral decoration of churches. So something similar. Not going to show you every single one, but landscape of some sort with a, what is that? I want to say emu, but maybe not. Ostrich? I don't know. There's a botanical field lupin. This is nice too. Does it say what it is? I don't know. It's going to take a little bit of research. So there are definite possibilities here, and like I said, you know, a person kind of makes almost a snap decision to buy or not to buy, and then once you get it home, you get, I guess that's probably a detail of the design. You get to then explore further and find out, oh yeah, this was a heck of a good decision, or oh, I could have left this one behind, you know, and you just don't know that until you really get into it. I could do without the guns. That's nice. Anyway, oh, there's a nice web of summer gossamer. I thought I caught something, you know, something like that nature and art and that first letter there. Oh, and I love these kind of blossomy branch things. A garden in May. So again, good possibilities there. 1866. I don't know if that's my oldest book or not. Anyway, Housekeeping score anyway. I kind of forgot I even bought this, to be honest. Historical Collections of Ohio in 2 volumes. Of course, I only have one. 1904. Oh, first of all, it was copyrighted in 1888. So it's in one of those typical ones with, you know, line drawings, beautiful paper, some numbers. So again, those quaint illustrations that we've come to know and love and can't seem to get enough of. This is something that I really didn't, oh, that's nice, that I really didn't study in great detail, so I'll have to do that, you know, now that it will have been videotaped and I can move these books around, sort them, put them in piles and decide, you know, what's getting my attention first. Because, of course, for people who tune into haul videos, and I'm certainly one of them, I love watching people's haul videos, it is, you think, oh, I love it. Oh, lucky girl. Oh. Kind of forgetting that then there is the sorting and the storing and all of the work yet to come, you know, whether it's scanning and digitizing things or oh dear, I almost dropped that. Or what was I going to say? Or, you know, just begin to use it. This isn't like, for the most part, we run John Deere equipment here on our farm. And at this point in our lives, we're just strictly grain farmers. We had beef cattle at one point. Anyway, John Deere must have been called Deere and Company at one point. And this is a 1912 parts list and parts book. A heck of a lot simpler. Oh, and they actually printed prices in here too. A heck of a lot simpler than any parts book you might see these days. But again, the pages are gorgeous. Now, maybe these aren't particularly interesting, but there are some bigger, better illustrations, you know, when you get into the actual. I'm sure you really wanted to know about harrows. But look at this. Look how beautiful that is. But, okay, here we're into something bigger. So that's a cultivator. Oh, my goodness. I think they had probably just barely, let's see, 1912? I don't even know when the first tractor was made, but I wonder if these were still horse-drawn. That would be something. Oh, this is a walking plow. So imagine yourself grabbing those two handles and, yes, so this would have been horse-drawn, and the man just, you know, I guess, the man provided the GPS. The man kept the rows straight. So, yeah, there's a plow. So, you know, a little bit of sentimentality, a little bit of, you know, I don't know, brand loyalty, a little bit of, oh, somebody wrote something not so nice there. And then just the quality of the paper, the illustrations made this something that I was happy to buy. Oh, this is nice because it's landscape. So I could scan that, and that would make for interesting background papers. Okay, this one I just got recent, just this past weekend. And this one is Poetic Dewdrops for Children. Now, my husband, this was $4. My husband was driving, so of course I'm not about to I'm not about to stare out the window at the landscape, the passing landscape. I'm going to have my nose in books. So this is one of the books that I looked through. And this was written, apparently this woman, this is some sort of a, done by the Union Gospel Press. Apparently this woman, this is from 1986, was like in her 90th year, and she had been doing this, can I quickly find it? Anyway, she's been working with this company for 55 years. So these are little poems, with a lesson or a religious slant to them. But look at all the wonderful little illustrations. And because usually there's no deciding which one to use. Some pages have none at all. But look at the lovely sized font that a person, if you want a big beautiful, there it is. Or kindness. So it is just crammed full of these little drawings. And because this was, geared towards little kids and their parents, I was kind of thinking that as I start fussy cutting this, I'm going to see how many kids I can salvage out of here, because they're all about the same size. And I think it would be fun to figure out, something to do with those kids. And then, of course, there are all the botanicals. But, like kids in every state of activity almost. So I thought that was kind of a neat find as well. Anyway, the paper is nice. The size is almost 10 by 7, almost 7. Okay, now this one is called Old Niagara on the Lake. Peter John Stokes, drawings by Robert Montgomery. Let's see what the cover looks like. Not bad, pretty darn good shape. A souvenir for your visit to Southern Ontario. Okay, so this, let me check positioning again. Probably, it's even autographed. About as good as it can be, probably. 71. So it has is this like a pictorial? What is this? Doorways. I didn't flip through this to understand what this is exactly. So I don't know if these were pictorial references that he used for his drawings. It would almost seem that way. But that's cool in itself, because it's got some detail, some columns, some, again, okay, it's gates, date stones, roofs, churches and churchyards. Anyway, let's get into so there are these, well, they would have been pen and ink drawings. Oh, and there's a little, very simplified map showing where this building is in Niagara on the Lake. Nice big number. The, this is circa 1860, that building there. You know what I'm going to say. Drawing on one side, text on the other. Bonus. The more I see these sorts of books with, let's just call it, the broad category, which would be architectural, whether they were log cabins or cathedrals or whatever, the more I am drawn to the idea of using them in some way, because anyone who's tried to draw a building to get the perspective and the detail right, the proportions right, know that it takes some skill to do it well. So maybe this is the not Niagara on the lake, but Niagara the city. Well, Niagara Falls. Oh, Niagara on the lake. Okay. Not Niagara Falls. Okay. I'm getting closed in here again. This will be probably a longer video than the other two, but I do want to finish it today. Okay, this one is another big book. This is why my desk is closing in on me. 11 1/4 by 8 1/2. So it's the Good Housekeeping Illustrated Cookbook. Oh, some handwritten recipes. Aw, cute end papers. I don't know if you can tell or not, but those are like soup tureens. Look at this lovely cover or title page with those tones of brown. This was published in 1980. Italics. Look at this. Look at. Again, the usual stuff that we expect to see in cookbooks: how to measure, how to convert, the basics. Like if you've never done anything, this is where you begin. Okay, so those are cubes, those are diced, those are minced, and these are actual size. I might have to read this before I deconstruct it. Okay, calorie guide. Another thing we have to rip out and destroy. Little cute place settings. Oh my goodness, this book has everything. Some beverages. I just love the illustrations. And this is a book that too could be used in a tall skinny journal because of the the format and kind of the way it's, or at least some of these pages are set in kind of in 2 columns. I'm gonna have to speed up here if we want to get this done in one day. Oh, didn't know there were color photos in here. Practicing doing some cake decorating. There are the tools and the tips and the bag and looks good enough to eat. Oh my goodness, this is really a nice book. What I'm as my library of books that would be useful for as my another recipe, as my library for books that would be useful for paper crafting and journal making and so on grows, I'm becoming more I wanted to say reluctant to cut into some of them, or maybe more protective of some of them than others is more accurate. Like, if all I need is some pages, I didn't realize there were all these color photos. If all I needed was some pages with some recipes, my goodness, I have enough cookbooks that have been, partially deconstructed or have had their covers removed and all of that. That I probably would never have to cut up another cookbook. Which makes me think, oh, maybe this book has, collector value. Maybe this is one of those that should be preserved and not sacrificed, as it were. Pretty darn good condition, other than this one corner that got beat up here. I don't know, can you see that? Anyway, I don't know. I just hope that if somebody's watching and sees that, oh, she's got $1 million book there, please let me know. Okay, I bought this at an antique show. It is a Dover publication. When was it done, though? 1978. With these paper dolls. And believe it or not a single doll or outfit has been removed. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, whether or not these illustrations are copyright or not. They very well could be. Although sometimes Dover books have kind of, a relaxation of rules because they've already, they've reprinted something. And anyway, I guess until I get the answer to that, I won't be touching it. Okay, this one says it was stolen from Ted Pritchard. I don't know Ted. I didn't steal his book. I paid $1 for it. Bev Doolittle. Is she not a famous illustrator? Wildlife illustrator? 2001, so it's not old at all. Isn't she the one that does those hidden images? How to read the wild. Oh, that's how to be out there. Lovely illustrations, full page. This is see, cut that open and you've got even a bigger one to make an envelope with. Hummingbirds. So these are watercolor illustrations. You can see some tracks. Ooh, badger. Those are vicious guys. That's not a beaver. Did the beaver not warrant an illustration? Oh, there's the beaver. Like, where's Waldo? He's about to drop this tree, and that owl, he's looking more googly-eyed than ever. Deere. I mean, the illustrations are gorgeous. This almost, if you don't look carefully, you'd think, oh, that's just snowpack. Huh. That snowpack has horns. Or antlers, or whatever. It's not a very big book at all. It's only 32 pages, but it makes up in quality what it might lack in quantity. This book came from a thrift store. Robert Bateman, who's of course a famous illustrator, nature illustrator. The pages are a bit glossy. Let's see what the year is. But there are some Canadian Nature Federation and blah, blah, blah. So they're basically, well, let's find the year, then that might mean a little more to us. It was talking, from what I saw in the store, it was talking about endangered or extinct species. It's funny that I can't find a date. Anyway, it looks kind of 70s or 80ish to me. I think the thing that saves this book for me is the fact that there are illustrations. And if I can find one, I'll be happy to show you. Okay. Piping Plover. Okay, Robert Bateman did that in 1988. White Pelican, 1988. Burrowing Owl. So either that sort of tells you the time frame here, or he just happened to have done those then, and they kind of became threatened after that. Whooping crane, North America's tallest bird. So when I actually looked through this a little bit, well, after it was already purchased, I saw that there aren't as many. This is cool. These are little people. 12 generations of doubling have given us a population of 2048 figures. Just 12 more generations. I don't know what they're talking about here. I guess they're trying to talk about the exponential growth of the population. Anyway, would have to read that to know if I'm explaining it correctly. Okay, so they're talking about industry and hunters, and let's find a few more drawings and we'll set this one aside. Look at that. South America, prime target for what do they say? Regularly imported in North America by the aviculture trade. Noisy scrub bird. Anyway, some of these obviously are absolutely gorgeous. A lot of it, I mean, you know, I think most of us would prefer illustrations over photographs most of the time, but certainly there is a lot more to plunder here, so to speak. Oh, those are cute. Anyway, enough about that. Whoops. Okay, let me make some more room. Okay, maybe I'll show you these, and then I'll end with some real winners. 2023 daily journal. I have my own journal that I use daily that I made, but for the $1 that this cost me, am I going to set it aside? Of course not. A lot of good paper here. You know, just taking those to-do lists if I wanted to, using the numbers, taking the times, like backing something, putting one of these on the back of a journaling card. An expense sheet. So that was kind of a no-brainer to take that one. This one, All the Queen's Men, cost me $1. Interesting end papers. 32 pages of color plates, 130 illustrations in black and white. Nice. What's the year? Oh, this was made in circa 1580, but what is the year of the book? 72. So again, it's an oldie but a goodie. A bit of gloss, But again, lots of imagery here. Black and white and colored. The paper that is not colored is really quite nice and matte. You know, when I see some of these oversized images, I think to myself, why am I not working in my art journal? Why have I fallen behind in Lou Frou Frou? Is it Tammy? The color, #color challenge 2023. I don't think I've done a single week in April. I've been so busy with the 100-day project of my own that there aren't enough waking hours in the day. But I want to carry on. Anyway, so there's that one. This one, also $1, same place. A Fairy Tale Treasure Trove, illustrated by John Patience. Beautiful. Printed in Russia. Just a quick flip through. Again, you know, I'm so drawn to these kids' books. Does that mean I'm nostalgic or immature? Which is it? You can vote below. Maybe not. Starting to come apart there. But again, would this not just... I don't know. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. This one, same place, needle felting. I almost feel like I spoke about this one before, but I clearly didn't put it away. I bought this, and I bet you I did show you because there were some needles in it. So pretend you didn't see that one. Okay. Okay. Well, we're down to the end here, guys. This is, I believe, German. Look at that. The color of the paper. It's a nice petite little, so 5.5 by. Would these not make the cutest little pages in a small journal? Not quite 8 inches. They don't look like they have to have been sewn in, but yet it doesn't look like it. I don't know. Anyway, it is gorgeous. Couldn't find a date on this when I first looked, but then I haven't really searched on my laptop either. And I almost think, well, I don't know. I can't speak German. Why am I even trying to guess? The lady I bought it from almost seemed to be saying that it was like a, maybe they compiled several of these books into one. Okay, what does heft mean? Heft 1, heft 2, heft, you know, so I don't know what that means, but anyway. Okay, I just don't know what to show you next. Well, maybe I'll show you this. Okay, this is called, I don't know if you can see, Verbal Notes and Sketches for Marine Engineer Officers, Volume 2. And when I saw what it was, I also got Volume 1. You know, a little wear and tear. I think I determined that the age was the 19, like the teens, like 1910 or something like that. Anyway, they're similar, so you don't need to see both. Nice. But the best part about these books is that they have all of these fold out schematic drawings. It's almost like onion skin paper. I don't know, can you see what I'm showing you? Different sizes, different shapes. Some of them have been folded incorrectly, like this one that's sticking out here. But you can see that they're different sizes. Like, that would be a perfect signature. This one is clearly, you know, bigger. I hate to, maybe I won't unfold it because you can see it might be fragile because somebody didn't fold it back correctly. But aside from the fold outs, there are all these drawings. And the amazing part is, or was it in the other volume? You can feel the text. It's all like, I don't understand. How can that be? You can feel, it's like raised. But look at these, all these drawings of engines, and I might have to show you a page or two out of that other book, just for the heck of it. Again, I guess if you're an engineer out in the field doing something, some of this I think had to do with, was it steam engines or was it submarines? Like, I mean, that's quite a difference. That is quite a difference. Oh, let me not do that in front of you because I'll probably end up tearing it. Pretty simple, pretty cute. Here's another one. Again, I don't want to do any damage to these. There's a little rip. But there's goodness on every page. Page after page of these things. Piston valves and slide valves. This is a big one too. So my intention with these is to scan and make digitals, because clearly there aren't enough of these to go around, the real McCoy here. But I just think that this size in particular, 7.5 by, you know, that would make a pretty darn good looking digital as far as I'm concerned. Some of these bigger ones, oh, this is really a big one. Let's try to, this is so big you can't even see it all. This is a drawing of a boiler, and it is I'd say 14 inches tall by 12 and 9, about 21 inches wide, and it's, the paper is, like I said, it's almost like onion skin, or maybe a closer description would be like sewing pattern paper. Not quite as flimsy as that, but something in between. Here's another gigantic one. Two. More and more and more. Anyway, I was saying, scan, create digitals, but also remove some pages selectively to put in okay. I can see off in the distance hitting the 500 subscriber milestone. So it seems that that is going to be worth putting together a nice prize. So what I intend to do is, with some of this genuine stuff, like, you know, not digitals, but the real McCoy, I have those gigantic, and I should really refilm that now that I have a better setup. So it's less like the Blair Witch Project and more like, you know, a real video. I have that broadsheet newspaper from 1920. So, I mean, I could put in a couple pages out of that. Something out of here, like something out of some of these precious books of mine that would be really nice for somebody to win. Okay, so one last book and we are done. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is keep that in the back of your mind, that there will be this wonderful prize coming when we hit the 500 subscriber mark, and I intend to put in some of those papers in there. But that also means I have to get my butt in gear and get some scanning done, because boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, let's end on a fairy note. So I paid $5 for this, and I'll tell you, this is one of those Cicely Mary Barker books. And I have to say, whoever of her relatives, you know, it's a bit like the Edith Holden thing, whoever was smart enough there to keep renewing the copyright has probably ensured the family a bit of a gold mine. Because, of course, none of this stuff, I think, will ever enter the public domain. Anyway, this book is a hardcover. It is almost 10 1/4 by 8. And it is nothing but gorgeous. Original retail price in Canada was $36. I got this mint book for $5. So it almost seems that, okay, based back here, it says originally there were 7 books in the Flower Fairies series, but in '85, her publishers produced an 8th book, Flower Fairies of the Winter. It was compiled from his existing works so that there would be a book for every season, and this new arrangement continues today. The following original Flower Fairies books are available as separate titles. Flower Fairies of Spring, Summer, Autumn, Winter, Trees, Garden, Wayside, and Alphabet. But yet, this almost seems like it's got most of those included, so I don't know. I just was I couldn't believe it. 2002. And of course, it is the estate of. So some cute little things to cut out here. I guess that's what the original books looked like, those summer or those seasonal ones. Then we've got some drawings like that. We've got these little guys in the corner. Let me see what you can see. Okay, you can see that. And you can see that, so that's good. Okay, so we've got these full pagers. We've got these little things in the corner. We've got these that are just crying to be fussy cut. And then I'll pick a better page to show you. Again, fussy cut, and you know, obviously if it's a choice of this or this guy will win. But okay, maybe you'll be able to see now. On most pages, or on a lot of the pages, there are these little tiny, almost like watermark, little fairy thingamajigs. So here, okay, there are 3 on this page, and all 3 are different. back here, and it'll be harder for you to see because it's a very light pink or mauve. Maybe this side I can hold up a little closer. I don't know if you can see that, but there is that little tiny, almost like a watermark there. That is obviously some fairies. So anyway, there are these. At the back here are the alphabet fairies. So where do we begin? Okay, A, B, C. So a flower fairy alphabet. So it seems like that could have been a book by itself. Then there are, yeah, this includes all those titles. Flower Fairies of the Wayside, which was another title that I read to you there. Then this one is Flower Fairies of the Trees. And then Flower Fairies of the Garden is this section here. I wonder, okay, so this was bought at Woodward's and they were clearly selling, oh, it says drug department. Oh, but they're books that were bought in the Woodward's drug department. I wonder what the guy would have paid. Oh no, that's immaterial because this book was 1990, so that can't be the receipt from this book. Flower Fairies of the Winter, of the Autumn, of the Summer, and of the Spring. So again, depending on the particular, see, you can see that guy a little, or girl a little more clearly. But just, I mean, there is a reason why this is selling, you know, decades and decades after she created these illustrations. And I didn't really know anything about her, except that she was, okay, she was born in 1895. She had epilepsy. She was kind of a sickly child. Her dad was an artist. I think he paid for her to go to some sort of an art school. Okay, she was, just a minute, where was the part about? Okay, she was born in 1895 in South London. She was educated at home and largely taught herself to draw and paint, encouraged by a supportive family and assisted by membership of the Croydon Art Society. She was only 16 when she had her first work accepted for publication as a set of postcards. And from that time, she devoted her career to painting. Anyway, the part that blows my mind, oh, maybe it was an introductory quote from her, where she's saying, yeah, she was physically frail, suffered as a child suffered from epilepsy. Deeply religious, devout Christian. Her father was an accomplished artist himself. Okay, he enrolled her in that art society when she was 13 and paying for a correspondence course in art, which she continued until 1919. So 13. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna wow you with my math skills here, but clearly she studied for several years. Okay, so we're talking about the postcards. Okay, the first book of Flower Fairies books, Flower Fairies of the Spring, was published in 1923. Well received by the war-weary public who were fascinated by fairies and charmed by her vision of innocence. In the foreword to Flower Fairies of the Wayside, the 7th book in the series, Cicely wrote, So let me say quite plainly that I have drawn all the plants and flowers very carefully from real ones, and everything that I have said about them is as true as I could make it, but I have never seen a fairy. The fairies and all about them are just pretend. And I totally believe, like, I don't know every single flower that's in here, but I'll tell you, the ones that I do know, she has captured with incredible accuracy. And, you know, they kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm gushing on a bit, maybe I'm a fangirl now or whatever, but it just seems to me that she had to be so talented, number one, to get them botanically accurate and intersperse figurative drawings of such a whimsical and innocent nature. Like, again, I was reading this in the car or flipping through it in the car, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, this one has a fancy hair. That one has gossamer wings. That one has little poofy things on it on her shoes. Some have flowers or seed pods or whatever as hats. Some are barefooted. Like, it just, I don't know, it literally blows my mind. I have painted botanical things, and I know what it takes to get it accurate and to get it, you know, believable and whatever. And certainly, I never set out to do botanical drawings. They just want people to be able to tell the difference. Oh, that's a carnation. Oh, that's a peony. You know, like that degree of accuracy. But Scabiosa, a flower that I love in real life, a perennial that I have been able to grow. And there it is, like, or these hairbills. Who doesn't have those? Poppies, one of my favorite plants. Like, the only thing that maybe she doesn't have in here that I would have liked to see is Alströmera, because that too is one of my favorite, you know, sort of florist type flowers. Anyway, I'm going to call a meeting of the Cicely Mary Baker Barker fan club to order shortly, so I'll stop it. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I know that if you love books as much as I think you do, then hopefully you have gotten your book fix for today and are encouraged to go out there and try to find some of your own treasures. Because, you know, a lot of these things exist if you are able and prepared to pay, to pay the price for them. I think for those of us who like thrifting, though, we are even more stoked by the idea that we got something so gorgeous, something so desirable, something so potentially valuable for a deal. But everybody's circumstances are different. So I don't know how you shop, but I wish you nothing but good luck in finding some of these treasures for yourself, because there really is nothing that there's nothing that compares to that feeling. So let me sign off here, and we will see you hopefully day after day after day in the 100-Day Challenge, as well as some of these special videos that come along in addition to the daily ones. Thanks so much for hanging in there, guys. Bye-bye.